Good morning, everyone. I'm excited. Today is Thursday and it's TNT. G'day, Tony. How are you?
Good. Very good. Very distracted this morning, but I'll be with you 100% in a second. Tell me, how's your week been? What's been happening?
I've had a great week.
You went to the Mind, Body, Spirit
in
Festival?
Brisbane. Yeah, Brisbane, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. It was amazing. Wonderful crowd in Brisbane. Always loved Brisbane. The weather was warm. It was great to see sun and, being a Victorian, we were just like, oh, yes. And we did a little bit of a look around Queensland and we stayed in Esk for a couple of days, which is really awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And then this weekend we've got Wyong, so the Wyong Soul Expo, which is going to be amazing. It's a gorgeous spot, apparently. I haven't been there yet. And we were going to be heading back from Brisbane, but there's also, coincidentally, there's also a Kenworth truck show on at Sydney this weekend. So we now have come back home to get Andrew's pride and joy, and we'll be driving the Kenworth up to Sydney. And
when's that on?
That's it's in Clarendon.
Where at,
do you know what that is?
Yeah,
Clarendon.
That's out west.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's about an hour out of Sydney, roughly, and that's on for the whole weekend. So Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, so that's going to be. So in amongst that, I'm going to Wyong to do a platform event at the Soul Expo there at 2 p.m. on Sunday. So that's going to be a great day. If anyone is in the Wyong area or has friends or family or anyone, please share, because it's going to be an awesome. It's going to, it's a really boutique expo. So and Jo, who's organised, it's amazing. She's organised some amazing people to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. So
yeah, nice.
Coastal New South Wales. G'day, everyone. We've got heaps on this morning. Donna Marie, hi, beautiful soul. Haven't heard from you for a while. I hope all is well. Josephine, my cousin. Gabrielle. Lloyd's back on today. Hey, Lloyd, how's your week been? And Jennifer. Hey, Jen. Oh, we've got everyone on this morning. Yeah, everyone's up. Karen, Bridget,
Everybody's
Jen. Up. Yes. Yay. Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having a good week. Love to hear what's been going on for you all, as we normally do. Lloyd, I hope you got some inspiration, you and Kathy, last week, because that was a lot of fun. We all had fun encouraging you guys. So, yeah, I hope it helped. Avichka Wyong, yes. Please come down. You should be doing some readings here. It's going to be an amazing expo. I'd love to see you. So anyone, Wyong, New South Wales, I'll be there Sunday. And if anyone wants to see trucks, go to Clarendon in Sydney. The Kenworth 2-day truck show's on. So we'll have the big Lloyd, I don't know. Lloyd's into trucks. Do you know the Moving On truck from the Moving On the movie? Lloyd, check it out.
Lloyd, check it out. Just get onto it. Yeah, Wyong.
It's an American truck, so a lot of Americans know what that truck is. So I'd be interested to see if Lloyd, you know what truck that is.
Yeah.
So what else has been happening? Donna Marie, grateful to be here for a short this morning. So wonderful to hear your voices. Yay, Donna Marie, great. I hope things are going okay. Please share. Bridget's got, speaking of coastal towns, yay, Bridget's going to Eden. Now, Bridget's been waiting to go to Eden for, I reckon, before COVID, Bridget, I believe, would it be?
Yep, nice.
We've been talking Eden for a little while, and beautiful part of the world. Let's see what else. Donna Marie, we could create a fan convoy. Yes, absolutely. Truck convoy. Doesn't matter what you're in, car, truck, on your horse. We don't mind. 5 years, Bridget. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, my God, Lloyd drives a Peterbilt. Andrew, my partner, oh, my God, they're his favourite. They're equal to Kenworth. Yeah, they're really big over in America. Peterbilts, there's not a lot of them out here, but they are the bee's knees of trucks. So, yes, Lloyd, you have a fan in my partner. He loves Peterbilts. So, yeah, pretty cool. So what have you been up to, Tony? What's been happening in the human repair shop this week?
This week's been good. It's been another good week of clients coming in, helping to solve their problems, or assisting in their healthcare. So that's been really good. It's as you all know, it's just a great industry to be in. Is in healthcare, where you get to help other along their health journey. So yeah, it's been nice. It's been really good. But I'm just looking at all the comments here. There's so many of them. So just to let you know, Wyong's about an hour and a half out of Sydney North. So that's put that into perspective. And where's the truck show again? I think it's out west by the sound of it.
Yeah, Clarendon, which is out
Clarendon
near
sound.
Hawkesbury. Is it Hawkesbury?
Yeah, so you guys are going to pretty much go past Sydney.
Yeah.
Um,
and I want to next month I'm up for the Sydney MBS, Tony. We need to organise either a show or even I was thinking a work. I'd love to do a workshop out of your space.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll do that. We'll get it. What's the date for that?
Good question. About a month away.
Okay.
I think it's maybe the 16th there or thereabouts. MBS in Sydney. My date recall this year's been really crap, and I'm like, I need to get my act together.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, let's run out here for Sydney for all the Sydney folks. So that would be really good. That would be it'll be nice for you to do a mediumship show out here. I'm just interested. What Bridget, what takes you to Eden? That's what I'm interested in. Eden's a great place, which is quite nice.
That's where Bridget came from. We're trying to talk Tony into opening up a business up there, but he won't leave Victoria. We're like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Eden's beautiful. It's nice, but it's a little coastal town, as you guys know. Great to go on holidays, but I don't know how much industry is really there. So,
it's Bridget's hometown.
Nice. It's your hometown, Bridge. Yeah, it's beautiful. Ola and I went down there, I think about a year ago, in between COVIDs, whenever it was. We got to go down, and that was great. It's beautiful. Stayed in Airbnb overlooking the lake there, so it was nice. I'm just looking at Donna Marie. Kathy, how are you? Good to see you on board. Kathy. Yeah, bring it up on a map. That's exactly what we need to do. Oh, okay. No, there's heaps of industry in Eden. There's so much. It's bustling at the moment. There you go, Bridge.
Needs a good cafe, I hear, Bridget. Someone that makes stone-fired pizzas and makes salami would be really big in Eden.
That would actually work really well. That would work. Yes, Donna Marie, what has she got here?
So Donna Marie's shared here, new beginnings. I'm being prepped for something that I cannot yet see. Very powerful words, Donna Marie. Many are in exactly that spot right now, so I love it. As always, behind our imaginations. So grateful for everything, everyone, and all of my human experiences and adventures to date in this life, and so incredibly excited for and about those to come. So you can't beat having excitement for a future that you haven't mapped out. And I think that's a big lesson we've learnt this year, is to let go of control and, absolutely surrender to this process called life. And I know for me and many others, and I feel like I'm on repeat in readings, I am sharing that with people to say, let go of what you think it needs to look like. I was chatting to another friend the other day, and her and a partner they work really hard. Their kids have all grown up, and they're still working hard now when they really could let themselves off the hook. And, we just got into a conversation. I said, look, since I've met you guys, you work, you're both, it's like they don't let themselves off the hook. They're working all the time. They barely have holidays. And she said, well, we did that years ago to get ahead, and we haven't let go of it, and it was a real realization for her. But I think that's something that we all need to take note of. And for those tuning in today, as we know, nothing is a coincidence. Are you letting yourself off the hook, or are you playing to that same story or narrative that you play, that you've had going on for 20 years? When's enough? And I think this year people are realizing that. I really do.
Yeah, wow. Lloyd says here, he goes, it's hard to do, but I'm working on it. Yeah, Lloyd, I hear what you're saying. I'm mostly the same as Lloyd on that one there.
It's not easy. It isn't easy. And sometimes it's a little bit like we have to pretend to feel it to start with.
Yep.
Just to be able to get into that zone. Because like you say, Tony, I mean, logic says, but I've got to. And I think for men it would be harder, because you guys have that, for most of you have that pre-built being responsible for your family and everyone and everything working out. You feel like that sits, or you carry that on your shoulders very strongly. I know my partner does that, and he's very much like will stress out about things, that he feels he needs to be in control of to make, to connect the family and all the rest of it. So,
it definitely is a tough one. It very, very much so is. It's and I think it's just one of those things of, it is a as Lloyd's saying as well, it's one of those things of being able to let go is the hardest thing, because it's almost like it just confirms how much of a control freak we can be as males. You try to do that, and it's just letting it go. So, guys, I wonder if anybody else has that same thing. Jennifer goes, "I'm becoming a nanny for the first time.
Yay, go Jen!
Next
That's
year."
exciting.
Emily's 3 months pregnant. Yay, that's fantastic. Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, and Donna Marie's put here new beginnings. I'm being prepped for something. Oh no, sorry, that's the old one. I thought I'd shared another one. Temporarily, I feel sharing with a lady we met at the Women's Wellness Retreat in March. Sorry, Tonia, didn't mean to cut you off. And she was lonely and invited me to stay with her while in transition. Yeah, that's it's pretty cool when we can do, and I think it's, like, we don't have to suddenly become this, we've released everything and let it go. There's little steps we can take. And Tony, you'd be a great one to share, some ideas on that, as in, if we were working towards letting go of that vision in our head, I'm sure there'd be even daily practices that we could utilize. To just thinking off the top of my head, I'm like, oh, okay, what could we do, to, I suppose, would first one be being aware of what that narrative is?
Oh, I think the first thing that comes to mind is just to surrender. That's the first word that comes to my mind, is to surrender to whatever may be, and going with that. And then after that, I would try to not to over psychoanalyze it, to be quite honest. I'd try to keep it as simple as just go, okay, just let it go. It is what it is.
And I think something that I've found helpful is to look at, if we took away all the ifs and buts, so we took away the fact that the money, the health aspect, we took away everything, and someone was to ask us, what brings you joy? What makes you happy? What is something that you connect with that, lets your worries drift away for that moment? It might be something you do that's creative. It might be something you get a lot of joy out of that you can do. And, sometimes focusing on those fun things, and it's a moment thing, you're in the moment. You're not thinking about tomorrow or yesterday. It's an aspect of being able to be really present, can sometimes bring us the downloads, I call it, like downloads and information of how we can look at heading in that direction. Because I think as humans, we put ourselves in boxes, we create walls around us, we create excuses of, I can't do that because of, and and a lot of that's ingrained in us from children. So it's not totally our fault that we're like that, but we are a bit wired to be like that.
Even Gabrielle says here that's the hard bit, not to overthink it. Avicii goes, letting go of my own expectations of myself. Changing isn't easy. Control is a big issue with me. We need to figure it out, who I am and what I want to be before I help others. 100%, Avicii. But look, that's I get what you're saying. And we put, I don't think we ever, you know what, Avicii, I'll be honest with you, and Tonia and everybody, I don't think we ever figure ourselves out. I think we get more comfortable with who we are, but we never, and there's this thing where we're trying to strive for perfection, and which is an impossibility. We're created perfectly imperfect. So to strive for perfection is sort of going against the grain. Look, the one thing I do know about control is the more that you're struggling in life, or the more that you feel like your life is out of control, in whether it's relationship, whether it's family, whether it's business, whether it's work, whatever, the more you will try to gain control. So it's like think of being in a car and you're driving down the road and your car just starts swaying from left to right, and it's going wherever. And the more it goes from left to right, the more you're holding onto the steering wheel, trying to take control of it. Now, thanks, Alls. Alls just bought my coffee in.
Hey, Ola.
Hey, Ola.
It's a cute little face.
Hold on a sec. At 10, just checking the emails. Sophia just sent for an email. Okay.
We love Tony in business mode. I love it.
I know. Just had to quickly I'm going to go into the other room actually. But yeah, so that's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah, certainly. And I think sometimes you've got to be kind to yourself and go, you know what, instead of trying to be perfect, let's embrace the fact that we're not perfect, and that's okay. And I think sometimes we need to, be kinder to ourselves, treat ourselves the same way we treat others, because we often give others way more leniency on things than we do ourselves. And when we do that, all of a sudden things start to drop away. So those expectations and the pressure. Kathy shared a good one here that, ultimately they'd love for Lloyd to get a buyout from his company, which would be, we have that over here. It's like, what is it? A redundancy, we call it over here. So it's almost like, Kathy, it's, you put it out there and then let it go and just go, okay, we're just going to continue on. So you're not, sometimes energetically we attach ourselves to something, and then when we constantly have it running in the background, it's like a bit of a block for it happening. So if we turn around and go, yep, that's the intention, I'm going to put that aside, we're going to move forward, and just we know at the right time that's going to come along. And it's easier said than done, but I
think the problem that is when you're ambitious and then you're asked to let go of control, and that's where it is, because now you've got this interesting conundrum where you're going up against, well, I'm ambitious, I want to get somewhere, and to do that I need to control certain elements of that. And it's deciding what you are actually needing to take control of, where you need to actually drive forward, and where is it where you can take the foot off the accelerator or actually delegate it to somebody else. Now that's the hard one, because you don't know. And Avichka, you're most probably in the same boat, and a few other bits, Gabrielle as well, where you're thinking like, well, if it's not me putting time and energy in it, it'll never get anywhere. And it's sort of like you're the person who's wearing every hat of whatever you're trying to achieve, whether it's good family, whether it's, sometimes you got to let a family member be a family member. Sometimes you got to let a kid be a kid. Sometimes you got to let a parent be a parent. Sometimes you got to let a boss be a boss. Where do you drop it? I don't know. That's the $1 million question. If I could answer that, then, life would be good.
One that I've found really successful, and, it's a practice that some mornings I forget, but I've got my little gratitude journal beside my bed.
Oh, yeah.
And I do, I just get up and it's like 3 things that I'm grateful for. And it could be I'm grateful that I've got a room to sleep in. It could be, I'm grateful that I can write in this book. It can be any stupid thing you like. And it's a 2-3 minute exercise. And it's just that little reminder of feeling gratitude. So when you connect in with that feeling, then you find that throughout the day, you'll notice little things then as well. And that, I feel that sense of gratitude is what then brings more that you're going to be grateful about. So it's kind of connecting to that feeling first up in the morning is really powerful to then find many moments through your day where you're feeling grateful. And that's just a little thing, but I would encourage everyone to do that and go, just focus on those little things, and then that feeling of joy that we get through that will then encourage that to revisit us. And I love Jen. Thank you for saying I love it when I'm thinking something and you come out and say, yes, go sister.
I know the world of being a clairvoyant. It's a good job, that one. I like it. You're working well. And Jen, I love the way that you said that. I'm just reading Donna Marie's one. Embracing life as an adventure filled with magic and miraculous moments, observation, self-reflection, choosing bliss, acknowledgement each moment for what is occurring as perfect in each moment, and choosing that is what is perfectly now like. Like if you can't be with the one you love, honey, love the one you're with. Exactly. I like that one. I love being permanent communication with the source while navigating and transversing the ever-changing tier. Yeah, look, it's a nice way of looking at it. The thing that I like about that, Donna Marie, is that's a beautiful way of living and being existing. The art is, how do you do that? That's the question. So we get the theory. The thing is, how do we do it?
That's right, exactly. And there's no perfect fit for everyone. Hey, Geordie, I think we're all like Tony said, we're all on this path of self-discovery, of learning what works for us, what doesn't, and to me, to trust your intuition and go with it. It's a bit like Avichka's popped up here. She was going to start a business, then just has, for whatever reason, has decided not to. You have to follow that. And when we follow our own narrative, we're not being fed by what we're told we should be doing by either media or, you know, people that we inspire to be like. We're actually following our own true north, and you can't beat that with just trusting that. And timing is everything. You know, like you say, Tony, like earlier, it's, you know, we want to control it. We want to go, I want this by this. I want this by that. I want obvious things. You know, I want these answers, and we have a real set vision of what we want. And in most cases, the universe has something way better in mind. But while we're attached to that want and need, that, you know, it's you're not in flow, is what I say. You're not in flow, and the more, you know, I know, like, you know, I was chatting to some others over the weekend at Mind, Body and Spirit Festival, and you know, I love being on the main stage. I have the best time ever. And we were just chatting about opportunities and things. And, you know, for me, it's just being at the right place at the right time and getting the right feedback. And, you know, nothing's changed with that. Like, even after doing that, you know, take it to the world stage, take it to whatever, you know, who knows? But I don't have this, you know, fixed agenda of I need to be here, here, and here. I have this, my fixed agenda is if I'm having fun, I'm doing it. I'm saying yes. If it feels right, I'm saying yes. And I'm not aspiring to be, you know, I don't know, this, whatever it is that maybe mediums would ordinarily do or want to do. I'm just out there having fun, selling my cards and books, and, you know, bringing and having joy with that. And I don't care if I sell 2 books or I sell 10 books or cards or whatever, you know, it's about the fun and joy and making a difference to others. And for me, I've realized that being of service is just incredible.
Yeah, nice. It's a nice way of being, Ton. I love it. I really do.
Yeah, I'll actually have to, I'll go and share. I will share a bit of a story from the weekend, but I'll have to go and get something.
I like your stories.
You'll have to just hold the fort for me, Tony.
Hold the fort.
There's a lot of great stuff coming out. Share some of that, please.
Yeah. Geordie, James, good to see you. Shelby's on board as well. Good to see you as well. You've got some really great messages here, guys. Keep them coming. Donna Marie's nice. She goes, practice, and honoring what works for my unique vibrational frequency and narrative. I.e. true north. Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it, Donna Marie. It is practice. It is. You know, you make a really good point here, Donna Marie. You know, a lot of these things, people think they just come naturally to them, and it's like the gifted athlete that runs 100 meters in 9.5 seconds. Like, you know, there's that athlete had to practice a hell of a lot before they actually got there, and it's a nice one, Donna Marie. It's just like anything, I suppose. You know, for mums and dads out there going through the same thing, where they go, you know, it's just practicing to be the best parent that you can be whenever you can, or, you know, whether it's the best mum or dad or kid or whatever it may be. It's practice. And then, you know, it's any other hobbies that we have in our life. You're right, Donna Marie. Really good reminder. I really like that. Thank you for that. I think everybody's going to take a little bit out of that one.
Donna Marie always has the most amazing shares. I love it. You know, it's great her words are amazing. She's a real wordsmith, which is a real talent. So definitely writing, Donna Marie, is big for you.
Yeah. Lloyd's got a good one here. He goes, I like this, Lloyd. I actually quite like it, which is most probably, yeah. Lloyd, it explains my ADHD. If I had that, I'm just saying that jokingly. I don't actually have it. But if you're not having fun, it's time to move on. And it is, look, I like that. And it's, you know what, you're right, Lloyd, and I agree with Lloyd. And sometimes you've got to find the fun in the hard bits to make it fun. Because I think Lloyd, where people get confused is fun equals easy, whereas fun can still be hard in hard moments, and you've got to grind through that. And I don't know about you guys. Have you ever had it where you've gone through a really crappy situation, like where, you know, you might be doing a renovation at the house and then you break the most expensive vase in the household. There's only 3 of them made on the planet, and you look at each other, you look at your partner, and you go, in 3 months from now, we'll be laughing about this, but right now we are laughing. And I think it's one of those, Lloyd, it's a great little reminder. I love that. Thank you for that, mate. Hope the hands are doing well too. I'd like to know how that went, because you went and had your X-ray, your scans done. So I'm curious, is it a neurological disorder that you've got, or is it biomechanical? So that would be interesting. But let's move on.
No. I'm going to share my little story today.
Oh, you go for it.
Have a look at these. So these These are handmade with wood, all right, except for the top one here that's made of material. But
Wow, are you kidding me?
no,
That
they're
is
totally
amazing.
like this does not do them justice. But yeah, so they're handmade with wood. I don't know how long it would have taken Justin to do them. A very long time. So Sunday
That is
show,
beautiful.
isn't it beautiful? Like incredible. Like I've actually been going to share on my page, and I was just so so overwhelmed with the with this gift, and I was just like, I haven't been able to put the right words to it yet, so I haven't actually
Yep.
shared on my page. And he even made the card for me, so this is all
Wow.
handmade. So anyway, the story behind this is my first show, no, one of the shows I did earlier on this year at Brisbane. So this weekend just gone was my second time on the main stage at Brisbane. Early on in the year, I think it was March was Brisbane, maybe. And anyway, Justin was in the audience, and his nephew came through who passed suddenly at a young
Wow.
age. I think he was around 14. And anyway, so as he came through, Justin was
He died at the
really
age of
overwhelmed.
14.
Yeah, it was a sudden passing. And
Jesus.
so he was very overwhelmed, and he put his hand up. So this is in the audience situation, but he was so overwhelmed he couldn't talk. And so I said to him, look, we'll leave it there. I want you to come and see me, and we'll make a private appointment, because he couldn't respond, like he was just so overwhelmed. So he came around after the show, and I booked him in. I said, come and I'll do a Zoom for you. I really want to connect, and I could see that it was so overwhelming. So I did that for him, booked it in, had the session, and then last week before I was coming, he emailed and said, "Are you going to be in Brisbane? I want to come and see you." And I was like, "Yeah, for sure, I'd love to see you." So he came back, and just prior to my show on Sunday, he presented me with these as a thank you.
Oh,
And I was
wow.
like, he was emotional. I was emotional. I'm like, I'm about to go on stage, but
Wow.
I was just like, I was blown away. So yeah, so he took time out to create these for me. And so I sat them on the stage. They actually represented, being on stage. And he's part
Yep.
Indigenous as well, like, or his
Yep.
background, but he's just incredible. And his partner's lovely too. Damien, he's awesome. But yeah, I was really blown away. And I do have
What a
to,
great story, Ton.
I
That's
know, isn't
pretty
it
cool.
beautiful? Like, and that
Yep.
was so, just something that he'd, really felt drawn to do for me, because I'd
Hmm.
given him that session. And I was just like, wow, I was blown away. I
Yep.
was like, I'm like ready to go on stage, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so emotional. And I'm like, these have to come on stage with me. So I sat them on the
Nice.
stage and
Yep.
shared, just said, look at how talented Justin was. But they're the little things, and that's why I do what I do. And there's so
Yep.
many stories like that, and that to me is like, that was my confirmation for the weekend to go, yep, I'm in the right place, doing what I
Yep.
love to do. And that what a amazing gift, and I really felt grateful.
Yeah, that is beautiful. That is such and you can see there's gratitude on both sides here, from
Yeah.
you and for him and for you to see. And I don't think even then, I don't think you understand the impact that you have with some of your people that you deal with. Like when you're reconnecting a 14-year-old nephew
Mm.
that's passed with him that's priceless. That's
Mm.
just unbelievable. That and that's and that gift there, something that's handmade, is absolutely really really nice. So good on you, Tom. Very very well deserved. I believe so.
I was
I just think the work that you do is absolutely magical. It is nice.
Thank you. Thank you. And Geordie's put in here being of service, and I'm sure Geordie would share the same. Being in the same industry, you get so many people that are so appreciative. And, I'm always mindful and, aware of being able to help people and make a difference. And,
Yeah.
if you can do that, then, my job here's done, is what I say.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
exactly. That's right. That is absolutely
and
right.
you would receive that a lot too, Tony, I'd imagine, in the work that you guys do. I mean, that's really powerful, giving people the power of their health back. That's massive.
Yeah, look, I'm quite lucky. I sit at front desk a lot now in the clinic, so in between my clients, which is far and few between in comparison to the physio part of it. But that's the way the business is designed. But we know we're building up the physio and Pilates aspect of it. The thing that I love is where people come out and they start singing all its praises, and they're saying, I feel pain-free now, or I feel so much better, or I've got a little bit of hope moving forward, or whatever it may be. And it's really nice to hear. And the thing is, Orla never hears that. She never gets to hear that direct sort of praise and gratitude that's given to her. So I'm very quick to pass that on. It's something that is, as you know, as everybody on here who's a practitioner of one form or another, there's sometimes the conversations you don't hear, but that's why I'm really touched with what happened with you, Tonia, with Jeff. Was like, bang, here you go. This is how grateful I am, and that's I pretty much guarantee 99% of your clients would want to do the same thing, and then we just don't know how to show gratitude. That's why I think money is a good thing, and I mean that because it's an exchange of services and to say thank you. That's basically that's how this world works. I'm pretty sure. Look, as you said before, Tonia, you said it really well. If we didn't have to worry about finances or anything of that matter, we could just exist for the hell of existing. Where currency wasn't really didn't involve in society. It was more of a barter system, and how can we contribute for the greater good. I'm pretty sure that most of us on this feed, if we went out and helped somebody and we got a hug, or if we got a bunch of flowers that were handmade to us, that would be more than enough. That would be
absolutely.
That
Even
would be the
thank
currency.
you.
Thank you. That's the currency that you want. But it's an interesting planet we live on. What's the next planet we go to, guys? Because who's the expert here? Because what happens? What happens when you go, I've learned enough lessons on planet Earth. Can I move on now?
I don't want to have to come back again. How many times do you hear people, and I often hear this with people as they get to the end of their life, going, I don't want to come back and learn this lesson. So I'm doing this. I'm making the change. And as people lead up to their, whether they're unwell and they know that there's an end date in sight, you often will hear that. And so I've taken a lot from that. My mum used to say that. She was like, I'm not coming back to learn this lesson again. I'm going to do it right here. And as she got to the end of her life, she repeated that a few times. And it's not just her, many people do it. So it's almost like as we get towards the end of our life, we have this realization that we are here learning lessons. And to me, that's a big part of our life, is learning how to navigate it and getting those lessons so that we can then, not keep sometimes making the same mistake, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. There's so many things that we can learn through life. And if we look at it as that, as a learning experience, like you said earlier, Tony, we never fully know it. But if we can take what we have and make the most of it, or do it in a way that's, that is acknowledging that, yes, I've learned that lesson. I don't need it again. I don't need to be with a narcissist as a partner. I don't need to be unwell all the time. I don't need to be.
Why didn't you tell me that earlier? It wouldn't have taken me 48 years to find the one that I'm with. Hey, Kayla's on board. First time here. I'm new here. Long time listener, first time writer. Good to have you on board, Kayla. It's a crazy show. It's basically you get to tell us whatever you're going through. If you're going through a bit of a tough time, it could be spiritually, emotionally, psychologically. It's not a counseling session, but it's one where you can just say, hey, I'm going through a tough time. And the rest of the community, see if we can offer you some words of wisdom from our own experience, or just a little bit of support. So that's basically how it works. Josephine, I'm going to get to you in a minute. That's a really good one. Rachel, really quick. G'day, Rachel. How are you? The bartering system. She goes, bring back the bartering system. Yes, please. Okay, the problem with the bartering system, this is where currency came about. So let's say if Tonia's a farmer and she's got a cow, and let's say if I've got an apple orchard, right? And the question would be, how many apples for one cow? And I might say, Tonia will turn around. She goes, I want 500 apples for one cow. And I think, that's pretty fair, because the cow's going to feed me for a while. But the thing is, my family grows, and then I'm going to start to need 2 cows. So I give her 1,000 apples. And then Tonia goes, most of these apples are going off because I can't get through 500 or 1,000. So the barter's not really good, although you're getting a whole cow.
But then I would barter the rest of those for somebody else with a sheep.
Yeah, but let's say if everybody was dealing with the apple guy, the orchard guy, right? And we had too many apples in circulation, and everybody's going, we can only make so many apple pies, we can only make so much apple puree, yeah, and there's just
Amazing what you
apples
can
going
do, though.
off. And that, yeah, but the idea is good. I agree with it, Rach. But that's where it got complicated back in the early days. And I'm going, oh shit, we have to bring up credit then of some sort, and that's how that was brought in. So
when I was traveling around doing my mobile hairdressing prior to buying the salon, I had to travel around because the salon I wanted wasn't available. So I did that for about 18 months. I didn't pay for meat for that whole time because I had the butcher and his wife and 3 kids. So his wife would have a perm and tips, and all the kids would have hair. So they'd regularly just book in, and I never paid for meat, and they never paid for hair in that whole time. And it was great. So I'm hearing you, Rach. It certainly can help. And Avichka, reading for a reading, done that before many times with other mediums. Be like, I need a bit of guidance. Yeah, let's do a barter.
Yep. Even a freebie's good. I think I've done enough freebies where you don't expect anything in exchange and you don't want to. That's what I want to read out. Josephine, thanks for this post. This is pretty cool. She says, I've really been missing my dad lately. Tonia told me years ago that his way of showing he's around, is connecting with me, is through feathers. Well, my 3-year-old granddaughter, Grace, just walked in with feathers that she found on the front door. I had to hold back the tears. Josephine, that is pretty cool. That is very cool. I like that. So that's your dad walk in and say, "G'day, Josephine. How you going?"
Yeah, I'm around. And he would be around with the family. That's my Uncle Ted. It was an amazing soul. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, my dad comes around once a year. It's financial year. Every time the ATO knocks on my door, it reminds me my dad's around. I wish I had yours, Josephine. It's so much better.
I love Jen's here. I've paid for someone's lunch that was next in line to me and paid for a gentleman's packet of chips. He didn't quite have enough, so I went to get another packet. I left enough money for him to buy both. The buzz I got from doing that, good feeling, knowing I helped someone out in a small way. I love that too. I love doing little, it's a service. So cool. It is so cool.
It's like you're a philanthropist there, Jen, but on a real small scale, which is beautiful. It's just where you go out there and you're giving to people who need this kind of stuff, which is quite nice. It is a good feeling though, isn't it, Tonia? Like Jen's saying here, and it's, you know what? I think what's empowering, there's 2 things, is that you're in a position, Jen, where you are able to do that, where you can get something, whether it's financial or if it's a gift or whatever. So there's that aspect of it that you can contribute, and that you actually have been able to do some good for somebody else. So you won't benefit from it, but they will. They're going to get something great. So it's a really nice transaction there. Hey Tash, how you going? How are things going in your wonderful world? I know things have been tough, and with your brother passing and everything. I hope you're okay. So we definitely do think about you in that sense.
I love Margaret's a card deck for a card deck. Yeah, Margaret. Love it. And Gilly, hey Gilly. Haven't heard from Gil for a little while. How's it going over there in the US?
She's just caught up. Geordie goes, I love to trade. I have some gorgeous tattoos. Yeah, look, trading's great. It really is.
Awesome.
Yep. I like the card deck for a card deck. That's pretty good, Margaret. I've been curious, Margaret. Like your card deck, from what I've seen, Tonia, is got to be one of the most humorous card decks I've ever seen. It is absolutely. It made me laugh, and it still does make me laugh every time I think of it. I want to know, how are they going for you? Are you, are they going well for you? You can always sell more. There's no doubt about it. But I just really feel for Margaret. There would be an overseas market that would love that Aussie sense of humor. But I agree. Do they get it? Do they? That would be an interesting one. Tonia, you would know this. Do Americans get our sense of humor? Gilly, you'd be good to answer about this. Gilly, Lloyd, Kathy, we're very, very sarcastic. And we're, geez, what else? We're
self-deprecating.
Deprecating, yeah, self-deprecating. We're very self-deprecating. So, and I don't know how that humor hits with the US market, because Margaret, with yours, it's very dry Aussie sense of humor, very, very deep tones of sarcasm, self-deprecation is there, that we absolutely get it. Yeah, Gilly comes back. Yes, we get the humor. I crave it. People over here are dry. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. But when you look at Gilly, when you look at people like Seinfeld, right? Seinfeld or Raymond from Everybody Who Loves Raymond, those guys there, they've got a very observational thing of sense of humor. So they look at life for what it is, which is quite, that's pretty good. All right, no worries. We're gonna get Margaret over there. Yet overseas are starting to catch up on it. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they
That's
would
good.
do. And it's getting it out there. In a lot of cases with, you put it out there, and then it just really depends on, like Gilly's put here. She's got a deck of my cards. Your cards have been blowing people's minds over here in the US. Thanks, Gilly. I love that. I want to be over in the US. Like, apparently my cards are going off in England, which is great. I love England. Yeah, they're really, really taking off over there. But I want to be in the US and Canada. I'm like, that's my kind of humor, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see you definitely in Northern America, like in Canada, doing well. A lot. What's interesting for us Aussies, Gilly, Kathy, and Lloyd. You'll be quite surprised. I'm going to give you the frustration of being an Aussie. The frustration of being an Aussie, that somebody like Tonia or Margaret would have to go overseas to America or England, and they'll become superstars over there. Like the US would embrace you straight away, Tonia, I guarantee. Same with you, Margaret. Canada would embrace you straight. Europe would embrace you like England and that. And once you make it over there, then you can come back to Australia, and then Australians will embrace you. And you're going, dude, are you serious? I've been trying to bust my ass here in this country for 10, 15 years. I go to the States for 2 years. They love me. Now Australia loves me. It's real. I don't know if that happens. I see it all the time in the arts where guys need to go overseas and then come back and they do well for some reason.
Absolutely. And that's how it is. I've got Margaret's little cards here. I love them. They're
brilliant.
They're cute and little, and and it is a bit of fun, but and that's part of it. And I think Margaret will agree. It's like, the card deck creates opportunities. So then if people are like, yeah, I really love that, and you get enough interest in it, it's like, let's head overseas and do a bit of a tour. And it kind of opens up that opportunity. And, I know for me, we can't wait to get over. We just bought an American truck. We had to go to Brisbane to pick up this 56 F100 truck. So we love America. A lot of our old classic cars are American. So, and I think that's how it, it's how it rolls, is you just tend to have that interconnection. It's like 6 degrees of separation, but that's how then we, we're able to make that connection and have a bit of fun with it. So, I can't wait. I will be definitely, Gilly, I'll be visiting you, and Kathy and Lloyd, I'll be visiting you guys. I'm definitely touring the US. I can see it as part of my big picture, and so I know at some point at the right time, that will happen.
Yep, absolutely. I can see it happening. I'm no clairvoyant, Tonia.
Oh, you are. You're bred from one of the finest.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Like look at Usain Bolt. If he had children, would they be guaranteed 100-meter runners? No, not necessarily.
But they might
look at
just
Torval and Dean. Who remembers Torval and Dean? Put your hand up, ladies and gentlemen, if you remember.
I do remember.
Yes. What were they famous for?
Tonia Harding a bit more.
Oh, that. Yeah. What do we remember Torval and Dean for? Come on, quick, everybody on the chat line now. Quick, get on there.
If you're over 50, you'll remember this.
That's right. Yes, exactly. Yes, the figure skaters. That's the other thing. Look, everybody's got the ability to be spiritually inclined if they choose to. Just like everybody can be a panel beater if they choose to. Some will be better than others, obviously. Gilly goes, I was raised by a Scot and a Brit. My auntie is Aussie. Oh, wow, Gilly, I didn't know. I thought you were born and bred American. I assume that's Gilly. This is why I'm not the spiritual one, and Tonia is, because Tonia would have known all this. And built a bit different. Scottish, Irish, second generation over here. A good, some good genes there. I'll tell you what.
We've got some great comments coming in. Rachel, with the color, we might patina it. We might make it look like a bit of a rat rod with this one. We can't decide yet.
Oh, patina's a great. I love that. Can we call
I
it a
do
color
too.
scheme, or is it just
It's just actually letting the actual
the rust?
like the rust come through, and
Yeah.
it makes it look, because the motor and the running gear in this truck are NASCAR.
Of course they are.
it's
Of
out
course,
there.
because that's what you need.
Yeah, that's right.
It's what every truck needs. Let's get a NASCAR motor.
I'll have to stop at every single service station, but that's okay.
I know, you just to refuel it. You'll be doing 400 meters and then you'll have to refuel it. I love what Jen says here. Friends and family always pick up your deck, Tonia. They are so drawn to it. Yeah, look, I think it is. It's a great little coffee table thing, isn't it? And you go, so who's had somebody who's passed away? Let's flick some cards. She goes, I feel the same way about here compared to Ireland. Yeah, look, I'll tell you what, Jen, Ireland's very embracing for a lot of things, aren't they? Lloyd puts in, yes, we get the humor. Lloyd goes, yes, we get the humor, we just don't like it. We're fully across it.
They often say we're a bit like Canadians, and Canadians apparently have a similar humor. Allegedly, I don't know that for a fact.
Do you know what? There's a guy, I won't mention his name, a very famous comedian, not here in Australia. He's Australian born and bred, Italian background, and he went to Canada. And he's done 3 platinum albums, which is above a gold album, like sold out. Every time he goes, he sells out stadiums for his stand-up comedy. He comes here to Australia and he struggles to pack out an RSL club.
What's a go with that? I know it's weird, isn't it? But
welcome to Australia. Just
Australia, the hardest audience you could have. Hard nuts to crack.
Oh, we are. Yeah, even Margaret says doing lots of legwork, slow and steady. Margaret, I don't know if does Margaret go out and do much presentations or much speaking gigs and that? Because I think with Margaret's sense of humor,
should be absolutely.
Yeah,
stand-up comedy / card message readings. Margaret, I agree with
there's
Tony.
a place for it. Do you know that there is a place for it? Absolutely. All right, here you go, Kayla. You're on board. First time listener, get in there, Tonia. Tear this one apart. We'll see what
Kayla, let's all embrace this. We've got so many intuitives on the feed, Kayla, that you'll get great information here.
That's interesting.
I'm going through an estate battle with a woman that is claiming to have been my granddad's partner for 10 years. My granddad passed away on the 25th of September 2019, and my mum, who was his only child, passed away in 2005. I was only 13. I'm her only child, which makes me his only grandchild. When my mum passed away, me and my granddad had a really close bond. This woman came into our lives in 2009 and manipulated him and took advantage right up until his passing, for those 10 years. The battle's been going on since November 2019. 2 months after he passed away, the fight began. Oh, Kayla, that's messy.
That is messy. Can I I'm going to interject here. Kayla, what I'm going to say first thing is I'm really sorry to hear that your grandfather passed away, because that's a tough one. Anybody lose a grandfather, that's super tough. The politics that you're going through at the moment is also very, very tough, and I do feel for you on that. Hopefully, from that point of view, I hope you're getting some good legal advice on that one there. But yeah, look, families are weird, aren't they, Tonia? There's always people who come in and change the dynamics. And Kayla, I hear you. I mean, we've experienced that in our own family as well. And it's never easy. It's sort of like the thing that it sounds like where it's because it's an estate battle. See, we were lucky it never got down to that point, Kayla. So we could walk away and cut our ties, and that's it. Once Dad died, that was it. But here there's some financial. Look, I'll be honest with you, Kayla, as tough as it is and everything, sometimes, as Kenny Rogers says, you got to know when to hold them and you got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to walk away and you got to know when to run. Sometimes a battle's not worth it for your own sanity, but I can't give that. That's a legal question that I can't, but we can deal with the emotional and psychological, that's for sure. What everybody else, let's go. What's your 2 bits?
Yeah, it's a hard one, Kayla, because the law, she's obviously, and especially when someone's gone in with that motive, they're very determined. So that makes it very hard to be able to rock them. And in a lot of cases, like what you're describing, the solicitors are the winners in the end.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to decide, do you want to give it all to the solicitors? or, you know, can you come to some kind of agreement whereby, you know, at the end of the day you walk away with something, because otherwise it just gets chewed up in fees and things, which, you know, isn't what you want ultimately, and wouldn't be what he wants.
This is where it comes back to surrendering control. This is going, Kayla, great. You know what? Great segue into looping back into the original conversation. I would, okay, Tonia, here, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Everybody else, I'm going out on a limb, as I always do, but it's not a big limb, it's a little limb. I can come back quite easily.
We love it.
It's just, I've stepped. That's all I've done. I would say surrender control by giving it to a lawyer or a solicitor and then walk away from it and say, you guys battle out, tell me what this is what I'd like. This is the minimum of what I'll accept. Can you guys come up with a resolution for it? And I'm out of here, boom. And then surrender and give that control to somebody else. That was me going out on a limb. Full stop.
I agree, Tony. It's not worth, we do tend to hang on, like in 2019, so that's 3 years so far.
Yep.
You know, okay, so in Kayla's shared here, they weren't married.
Jen, I've just read Jen's comment. DNA testing. Jen, what are they doing to you in Tasmania? What have you been? Have you been watching reruns of CSI or something?
Good morning, Deb. Deb's on board too. I'm going back. I can't find those. Oh, look, it's, you know, Vichka's put here where they married. I feel she'll get something. That's a problem. Like somebody like that, what the problem is, there might be other relationships, there might be other components. But when somebody's connected with someone for money, which is obviously what she's done, she's befriended him, she's worked this story for 10 years, she's going to be hard to shake. And I back it in, she'll know what she's entitled to and how she can get it. And it's probably not her first rodeo.
No, Tonia, when you said that was, Kayla, I guarantee it. The Black Widows are out there, Kayla. Don't you worry. And if you're up against the Black Widow, you choose what you want to do. I know how I deal with it. You know, I'm really disappointed about, and I shouldn't say this, but you can't steal people's letterboxes anymore. That way they couldn't get mail, because nobody gets mail anymore, right?
It's stealing. You have to steal their email.
Yeah, I know, because it'd be hilarious, right? Especially when somebody's waiting for a document or a letter or something, but you've stolen their letterbox, right? And you might have just like hidden it in a bush or something like that, but they can't receive letters. It's a little thing, but it makes me excited.
I feel, Kayla, if you're not happy with who's representing you, make change, get a new perspective. I feel like there needs to be a woman involved in this, as in solicitor. That's just something that just came through. Your grandfather, and you've got your mum in spirit as well. So you've got a lot. They're up there. They'll be guiding you. So please trust the messages. And, you know, I do feel there's going to be some kind of settlement where, a bit like Avichka's and a bit like Rachel's put, there's something around having to, you're going to have to give us something, is what I feel, unfortunately, as much as it sucks. But for your own, like Tony said, for your own mental health, for your own, you know, being able to move forward with this, you don't want to be bound up in litigation for years to come. So,
no.
But I do feel like you need fresh eyes. I feel like the fresh eyes will help you.
Could she give her like the bitter taste of disappointment? That's what I'd give her.
Yeah, well, you could wrap this up and drag it out, and you know, and the solicitors could all get it, you know, but
and it's good to say. I just want to quickly acknowledge the people out there for remembering who Torval and Dean are. There's a lot. I'm just catching up on all the messages. Namaste to you all. You guys rock. We know perfect tens, by the way. I don't know. Has anybody else done perfect tens since Torval and Dean? Has it been replicated?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know.
Doesn't matter. It's like when and this is another one for us folks. You'd most probably remember when the first Cornetto ice cream was actually invented and taken to our stores, where it was the first mass-produced ice cream that came in an ice cream cone. It was Cornetto. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. You don't have to go to the ice cream shop. You could go to the corner shop. There were ones after that preceded that one, but it doesn't matter. The Cornetto was the original, and that's what made it special. That's why Torval and Dean are special. Just want to throw that in.
Absolutely. And Kayla, so it's complicated, Kayla. It really is. So grandfather's been a bit manipulated there, but know that he's in the spirit world, and he will be up there. And I always say they're looking down. They know what's going on. So, I would be connecting with him and saying, all right, let's have a result here for everyone, for my highest good, everybody else's highest good.
Yeah, look, Avichka says it here too. Avichka, you lead in with some really good things. Where they married, I felt like she would have to get something. You will need to settle and walk away. Then Avichka backs up. She goes, and it echoes what you're saying, Tonia. It will cost you more if you fight her, especially with your heart space and mental health. Yeah, and that's the question, isn't it, Avichka? That's what we're trying to determine. How much do you go into battle? How much do you give it to somebody else to battle? It's a really, I like what Avichka's saying. She's saying the same as you. I think we're all saying the same thing. Kayla, it is, you need to speak to somebody else who's actually been through it as well. And it sounds like a few of us have been there. And I think we're sort of agreeing. But don't forget this, Kayla, we can't make this decision for you. This is a personal thing. All we're doing is we're a bunch of mates that just have 2 cents
throwing
worth
it
of
out
advice.
there, going,
yeah, throwing it
try
out. Yeah, exactly. We're like a smorgasbord of ideas. Some of us have been around in the meatloaf section for a little bit too long and should have been tossed out a while ago, which would be me.
Look,
I'd definitely meatloaf.
When it comes to people passing and money, holy shit! Like seriously, we should all take this as a thing. Just spend all your money so there's none left. No family arguments, no fighting. Just leave nothing, and then no one can have a bitch about it. Because there's always going to be someone that's not happy. It's like.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
Rachel comes up with this, and this is an interesting one, Rachel. I understand where Rachel's coming. She says, Kayla, there would have to be some kind of proof that she was in a relationship with him. Is there something sentimental that is yours that could be I can't even say it. Amicable? I just slow myself down on that one, Rach. Jeez, you threw me a curveball on that. Agree for her to give you. Do you know what, Rachel? It's quite funny with the laws in Australia. I think these days to be deemed that you're in a relationship is, I think it's under a year. If you're living with them or if you've been there for 6 months to a year, you're pretty much considered as a full-on relationship. So that's a pretty easy one to prove, though. I know what you're saying, Rach, but yeah. Kathy goes, in the States, if the woman lived with him, she actually would be considered a common law wife. Just saying. Yeah, Kathy, it's the same. Yeah, we've got a similar law like that as well. But thank you for that, Kathy. That's a really good point.
Kayla's saying here her lawyer is a female. Get another female. I feel like this is somebody new that needs to be get another second opinion is what I feel with it, Kayla.
I really like an Erin Brockovich.
And Rachel's putting write a bloody will. I mean, like his watch or something that Kayla can get back. Yeah, so Rachel's just suggesting, is there something you can get back as part of his property, Kayla, that you can have of his?
Avichka, you...
his last will's been frauded. Yeah, see, this is, oh my God.
Avichka, you crack me up. I like how Avichka writes something and does a quick, not like an autocorrect, but then comes in from that. Avichka's this. You need a female to represent you. She's very good at manipulating men. Avichka. Then she comes back, she goes, take Tonia's advice. Get a female representative. I got that too.
Yeah, well, there's a female. I feel like there's a new female. There's fresh eyes. Yep, and Josephine's here agreeing with that. Fresh eyes.
Josephine's
Look, it doesn't hurt to get, and sometimes it's not that there's anything against who you're utilizing, but sometimes, there's that one person that can come along with fresh eyes and go, oh, by the way, there's a loophole here. And that can be in any kind of field. Like sometimes fresh, it's a bit like you, Tony, with the work you do. Like someone might be going to have treatment somewhere, and then they meet Orla, and Orla goes, have you tried this? Oh, no, because Orla's up, has got all of that extra new knowledge that she's just learned. So, it can be that simple.
Oh, 100%. That's a good point. Yeah, that's actually, Kayla, that's pretty right. So just to let you know, Kayla, my partner's a physiotherapist, and there's, as I say, there's many ways to skin a cat. So the one problem will get presented. So let's say an ankle problem. And what you need is just people to have a different perception of it. They come from a different philosophy or a different school of thought, whatever that may be. And you need the one that's going to resonate with you and work in the way that you want to get your result. That's what I'd be doing.
So you'll have to keep us posted, Carla. We will definitely send the energy towards this to get some kind of resolution sooner rather than later.
Yeah, Josephine's the same. She says get somebody else to look at it.
And Kathy said here, attorneys drag it on for years. That's a problem. And they end up getting all the money, unfortunately, and the person that started out ends up with not a lot. But
look,
good luck tomorrow making your lava cake. Oh my God, I would not even attempt that. So I have great admiration for you.
If you're not on board next week, we're gonna assume that the volcano lava cake was a disaster and you didn't come out too well. She's got burnt eyebrows and everything. Like, oh geez, yeah. I got that recipe wrong.
Good luck with if you're around Sunday, please pop in, Novitchka. I'd love to meet you in person. That'd be so cool. So Kayla's put here, she is under being charged with fraud because of the granddad signature on the last will. So it sounds like you're on the right track, Kayla. Really does.
Yep, absolutely. And what we're going to send you is a lot of loving support. That's what we're going to send you. That's the most important thing for you. That's what we can definitely do. On that, I think we're
out of time.
Yeah, that's it. We're out of time. That's what happens. All good things come to an end. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming on board. Thank you for having an interesting chat. Geez, what did we learn today? We had to learn how to surrender. But you know what? I can't help but start to close off. It's like I'm a control freak when it comes to closing up the show, and I always jump in, and I haven't learnt my lesson. I'm still going to say thank you to everybody.
I love it.
Can you all help me, please?
You do the heavy lifting, Tony. What can we say? You're doing the heavy lifting. That's what I see.
Thank you all for understanding my weaknesses. I'm still talking though. I won't shut up, will I? I just got to surrender and I'm going quiet. Bye.
See you next week, everyone. Same time, same place. Catch up with you then. And for those Central Coast, Wyong, New South Wales, I'll be there on Sunday, the Soul Expo. So please come and say good day. Love to chat. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.